What's going on, gamers? I'm sure you've been seeing tons of videos of Executor shotgun absolutely melting bosses or using it for different purposes in dungeons, and I kind of just grinded this out all day, and I wanted to break it down each and every boss fight I used it in and let you know if it's worth it. So first off, let's get some claps in the chat for how well this shotgun did against the hardest boss in the game. We have 3 glaze here. We're taking advantage of the infinite rounds. We're gonna get this shoulder weak, and the Enzo's gonna hit us with this buff. Remember, this could be better. You could use Sharon, you could use other stuff, but we wanted to use the shotguns. As soon as the Enzo jumps up here, Clyde's ult doesn't activate his annihilation set and walk the tightrope, but now we're barrel stuffing this guy. All the pain that he's done to the pub groups, it's time to get him back. We're just hitting these big old weak points. This gun shines when you can just annihilate weak points and just spray all those pellets. There's so many numbers on the screen right now, I don't even think I can see it, but we're gonna go into the third clip here, get a 41-second kill, and man, oh man, this boss got melted by the shotgun. Since his knees are so easy to hit and proc this weak point damage, it's free. So we're just going to show it here. 41 seconds, did 54 mil. It could be way better. So let's talk about how they buff this shotgun, the Executor. I do want to point out you're going to need this all the way leveled up. So the reason why it's so important to max the shotgun out is because of these traits right here. Point damage multipliers increase and applied when the enemy target is afflicted with the electrocuted effect. All you gotta do is hit your shots. Huge pellets. So when you hit accuracy per stack, you're going to get 5 accuracy per stack. Then you're going to get 33% critical hit rate. You're going to get 33% critical hit rate per stack. So this gets 100% critical hit rate. And then you're going to get the critical hit damage. Critical hit damage per stack is another 30%. And then you're going to get the firing speed increase and the weak point damage. This is insane. So I just want to show you what it looks like now. Base, we're going to come up here on this guy right here, pull up our base damage. As you see here, 1% critical hit rate. It will give us it when we hit our shots. You're gonna have a 2x crit hit damage because of the mods I have on, and a weak point we're at a 1.8. What we're gonna do here without even activating glaze infinite rounds, we're just gonna hit a couple shots here to proc the perks on the shotgun real quick, and you're gonna see the max there with the 3.6 crit hit damage. That is how it gets maxed out, and that is how you take advantage of this weapon. So you can use it on your Glay, you can use it on Enzo, you could use this on Sharon. Sharon can actually stack damage with her invis and coming out, but in my opinion, it's going to stack the most with Glay simply because you can just do this and have unlimited shotguns. It's going to just speed up. The numbers are insane. And if you have your Glay built the correct way, which we'll go over the mods, you can just have the infinite loop to where you never run out of shotgun shells, and you're just going to hit these shots and keep these damage numbers up. Get your weak point damage, your crit hit rate, and yeah, you kind of see where this goes. Screenshots for the Executor, get them ready. Be careful with running real life fighter on bosses that have small weak points because you will lose your stacks. So I'm recommending that you can swap in special sight. You're getting 30% for free, but with real life fighter, you're going to get a little bit more damage on these big hits. Let me demonstrate how this mod will work too. If you look right there on the left side of my screen, when I hit my shot here, max stacks. If you miss, you lose them, but the pellets proc it again. So it's very, very easy to get real life fighter back. So it's kind of like a get good moment. Going over everything else, I thought shell up meant getting more shells in the magazine, but this is actually putting more pellets inside. I'm sure people will further test this more, but I just wanted to explain what that mod does. Weak point damage is all you need here with your firearm attack. All these mods are weak point, firearm attack, and crit hit damage because you don't need crit hit rate. So that's what all these mods are for. And you'll probably see why I'm running an electric enhancement here in a second. We have a free mod. Now, the reason why we're running this is because we're taking advantage of the 40% weak point damage. Although you do lose 20% accuracy here and 20% accuracy here, I didn't find like it was too hard to run. If you don't want to run the targeted vulnerability for that 40%, you can always put on focus fire and get 20% weak point damage and 3.5% critical hit damage. I also want to point out though that you could run this to counteract this. So since you're losing 20% here, you can get it back with this 30% accuracy on hit rate focus, but also instead of getting 3.5% critical hit damage, you can get 13. But the reason why I wasn't running this is because I'm like, hey, we should run an enhancement simply because of whatever boss it's weak to. That's why on that boss kill, you've seen us run the electric enhancement because we were using the Gsxrclyde. The Enzo shot the boss with that to rip down the defense, and electric attack will do that and rip down the defenses as well. But again, haven't really tested much out with anything else or weaknesses, but just wanted to go over that. Yep, that's right. Clyde didn't want to roll off his weak point damage, so we're kept a blue. This max is at 12%, so we'll miss 2.5%. That's okay. Chat made fun of me. You're gonna go with the critical hit damage because you have 100% crit hit rate anyway. Bonus attack against a Colossus, and the reason why I kept on firearm attack on this weapon was simply because if you have on a mod that does enhancement, it scales off your firearm attack. So if your firearm attack is higher, you're gonna get more attack here, like electric attack, gel attack, you know, whatever mod you put on it. The glade mods stay the same. People were using Predator Instinct here, so if you want to run Predator Instinct, you can. The reason why I didn't have Predator on is because I wanted to get 30% more firearm attack with Walk the Tightrope, and I felt like it was too hard to drop my health below 50% to start the fight, so I kept on with Massive. But I think the difference between Massive and Predator is like 5% damage. You have Shot Focus, please run that, and then you're going to be running Annihilation set, so when you drop your health, you're going to get that extra firearm attack as well. My reactor, I just had skill duration up just so I could keep that infinite loop. Remember, you're just counting on running increased sensory and just non-stop shoveling through your shotguns shells. I didn't run any mods through here, but I'm sure there might be something in here that can help you with the kill. What's funny is that I had this on and it kept healing me. I had to take it off. So I was running this on my Haley build, but I took it off for this build simply because it kept healing me and taking me out of Walk the Tightrope. So you've seen Tony. Now let's talk about the other boss fights. Kind of wanted to break this down and let you know how easy it was. Tony definitely was easy. The fight wasn't too bad once we figured out how to set this up, but now we're going to be going into the Molten Fortress fight, and simply we're going to come on this left hand side. I already have the Enzo buff, but I'm going to refresh it when I switch. We like to take out the left vent here. Now this fight was definitely kind of difficult because we're doing so much damage to the boss's face that if you break a weak point twice, the person that's hanging on to the left vents, our Enzo, will fall off and you'll get the stun too soon. So I kind of tell him right here, like, hey, I'm breaking the boss's mouth. Then I go up to the other one, and as soon as they're broken, I tell him to break the vent, and I kind of stop shooting there. You see how he drops the boss, and then we take advantage of just dumping this damage. I don't know if I should have shot this or shot the mouth for the less pellet spread or the closer damage. I might have through there, but as you see, Turtle gets absolutely destroyed. So that's kind of how we did it. Some of these boss fights, you do have to control how much damage you do to a weak point because it will knock your teammate off. We didn't try going for the absolute bake there of just not having someone grapple. We didn't want to risk it. So this was a pretty easy kill. All right, good old Frostwalker. You know, these walker bosses, Frostwalker and Swampwalker, kind of annoying here. So what we were doing is we were having two teammates shoot the vent on the side of Frostwalker, that left of his head, and get that grapple point going. Again, you do so much damage here because I'm dropping my health. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to die. As soon as my teammate goes up there and grapples, that's when we're going to start damaging. But the problem is that if we do too much damage, because we're trying to hit weak points, right? That's what triggers the gun to do a lot of damage. If we shoot the weak points too much, it can knock him off, and that happened a lot here. Luckily, we fixed it here, got the run in, got the juicy numbers, and the boss just fell over. Again, it did take us some time to get down this timing. I feel like you dumping this boss with Haley and Lepic would be a lot easier, or a different glaze setup, but overall, pretty easy. Next up, we got Obstructor. This was pretty simple. We didn't even go for a grapple here. We just knew that he had big shoulders. I wanted to make sure he was recording there. Told the team, hey, go for the left shoulder, get that weak point yellow, and then switch to the next one. We didn't want the boss to get stunned without getting both shoulders down, so as soon as he starts taking damage, I was shooting that left one. As soon as I see it was yellow, I switched to the other one. And of course I'm missing terribly bad, but yeah, I mean, you didn't need no grapple here. You just take them out, make sure you hit your weak points, and watch all those numbers on your screen. Just do crazy amounts of damage, and we call that a day. Again, this one not too bad, but the gun is based off of shooting those weak points. But again, if those big weak points are on these bosses, you should use Real Life Fighter. And if you feel like you can't hit those weak points, just put on Special Sight. Swamp Walker. Again, this walker wasn't too bad. We actually had more failed attempts on Frostwalker, believe it or not. But Swamp, same thing. We want to come over to the left-hand side, stay out of the goo, and we want to make sure that our teammate can grapple first before 3 shotguns start unleashing on this guy. So I'm going to help out here and get that weak point ready. I'm going to switch to my shotgun, wait for that Enzo to drop me his pack. Give me that supply. Now, so we kind of took it easy here. I waited for my teammate to grapple. I didn't drop my health. I figured I was going to come stand down here. And now we're getting that weak point damage. We're going to get that stun. I just said break him as soon as you can. And luckily, we got a good stun here. And he didn't take so much damage. We wanted him to drop right about now. He should be coming down. And yeah, he's just going to get cooked. So Sometimes moving around on this guy or moving underneath them, you take so much damage, or you can't hit this perfect angle here like I got. So you kind of just have to stand back a little bit, scoot in, scoot out, until you can find the good distance to get him. So with Pyro, we did the same thing. We started the fight, let him walk up here so we didn't get hit by the lava. I went for that left shoulder, told everybody to shoot it. As soon as it was gold, I went for the other one. We wanted to have our teammate grapple this one, but I think we told him to jump up there right when I hit that gold. And then I went for the ankles here. Obviously, I'm trying to get the weak point to crack here, but he's walking away from me. Kind of a pain in the ass. The special sight here was definitely helping. I think I had special sight on here over real life fighter. But yeah, I mean, you just go after the weak points, go after the knees or the shoulders, and he's just going to fall over. Wouldn't be a meme without punishing our old boy Devour. Yeah, this guy kind of got smoked. Obviously, you know, he's got the big weak points, so he's just going to fall over. What did you expect, right? Yeah, pretty simple. So Dead Bride, same thing. We're gonna bait her up here so we can try and get her out of the lava here, because I'm dropping my health for walk to tightrope. Probably could have played a little safer. She does move a lot, so going for those shoulders could definitely be a pain for you. But when she jumps in the air like this, you know, I'm just going after those weak points. Gonna try and hit that stun. Luckily, our teammate jumped on right away. Mr. Ren, good at grappling. Right now, I'm just chasing. I'm literally running. I'm like, hey, let me barrel stuff now. So we're good now. As soon as you get those chunky numbers going, I mean, all those numbers start hitting. You know, as soon as you get this thing ramped up, it's GG. So it's a really good show off there of what it looks like, the difference of non-ramped up and hitting weak points and killing the boss. And good old Executioner. We did have to grapple this guy as well because he wasn't raging on us, but we just went for those shoulders. As soon as that shoulder went yellow, went for the grapple, simply because we can just sit here and shoot. As soon as our teammate is grappled, we're going to go for those knees. I don't know why I'm still shooting the shoulders. I should definitely be going for knees, going for those weak points, just making it easier and getting a faster kill. But, you know, I'm old and sometimes we make mistakes, right? But overall, this gun shined the most on the harder bosses like Molten and Gluttony. So I think you guys should try it out for those fights in particular. But the lower end fights, you can just use Gsxrclyde setups. So lastly, overall thoughts. I think this shotgun performed well on Gluttony. Definitely shocked me the most. Made it so simple and easy. Even Molten Fortress. But the lower end fights, it's not really needed. It's like a niche gun kill. You guys can kill the bosses no problem with Haleys and Lepics and Glaze or Enzos or whatever your setups are. But definitely have this shotgun for future content. And I mean, bosses with big weak points, they're gonna get destroyed. So who knows what the new boss is gonna bring, but Gluttony definitely gets shredded by this. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the breakdown of the shotgun and me showing all the boss fights, and I'll see you guys in the next one.